I'm Mike. Well, actually, my name is Michael, but everyone calls me Mike. I'm in my 20s, living in the small town of Riverside, and working as a pizza delivery guy. Yeah, maybe not the dream job, but it pays the bills. Here in Riverside, everyone knows each other. It's that kind of place where nothing really exciting happens. At least, that's how it was until that day. It was a Thursday afternoon, and I was out doing my usual deliveries, going in and out of the familiar streets, dropping off pizzas to the same faces. Until suddenly, everything changed. I was headed to Mr. Johnson's house, a regular customer, when I got a call. It was my boss, Jeff. "Mike, we've got a special order," he said. "We need you to deliver a pizza to that mansion on the hill." The mansion on the hill? I'd never delivered there before. It was a spooky place, perched at the top of a hill, away from the rest of the town. But a job's a job. So I accepted. I arrived there, and the mansion was even more imposing up close. I rang the doorbell and was greeted by an elegant woman, dressed in expensive clothes. "Hey, here's your pizza," I said, trying not to sound too nervous. "Great, thank you," she replied, taking the pizza. "Wait a moment, please." She disappeared for a moment and came back with $100 bill in hand. "This is for you," she said, handing me the money. I was shocked. A tip like that was more than I made in a whole day's work. "Thank you," I said, still a bit stunned. As I left the mansion, I couldn't help but think about that mysterious woman and the unexpected turn my life had just taken. Little did I know that was just the first of many surprises yet to come. That night, as I headed home from work, I was still trying to process what had happened at the mansion. $100 tip? It was crazy. But it was good. Really good. I got home, tired but with a strange sense of excitement. That night, I managed to sleep a little better, dreaming of possibilities I had never considered before. The next morning, I woke up with a new purpose. I decided I needed to ride this wave of luck while it lasted. So instead of heading straight to work, I decided to stop by one of my favorite cafes for a coffee. As I stood in line, I heard lively conversation coming from the table next to me. It was a group of students from the local college, discussing a group project. One of them, a girl with curly hair and a contagious smile, seemed to be leading the conversation. She was explaining her ideas so passionately that I found myself unintentionally eavesdropping. Suddenly, she looked in my direction, and our eyes met. I blushed with embarrassment at being caught snooping, but she just smiled and waved at me. "Hey, are you new around here?" she asked as she approached my table. "Oh no, actually I've been living here for years," I replied, feeling a bit foolish for being caught off guard. "Oops, sorry. I thought I'd never seen you before. I'm Lisa. Nice to meet you," she said, extending her hand. "Mike," I responded, shaking her hand. "Nice to meet you too." We talked for a while, and I found out that Lisa was studying psychology at the college. She was smart, funny, and incredibly easy to get along with. I found myself laughing and chatting with her as if we'd known each other for years. When we finally said goodbye, we promised to see each other again soon, and I knew that somehow, this unexpected connection with Lisa was another blessing that had come at just the right time. A few weeks had passed since the day I met Lisa at the cafe. Since then, we had become good friends. We regularly met up for coffee, studied together, and even went out to dinner occasionally. One day, while we were studying in the college library for our respective subjects, something unexpected happened. We were engrossed in our books when we heard commotion from outside. Curious, we rushed out to see what was going on, and found ourselves amidst a small commotion. A group of people was surrounding a man who seemed to be unwell. Without hesitation, Lisa ran towards the man to help, and I followed her. Upon reaching there, we found out that the man was having heart problems and urgently needed medical assistance. Without a second thought, I called the emergency services while Lisa did her best to keep the man comfortable and stable. Within minutes, an ambulance arrived and took the man to the hospital. Lisa and I looked at each other, still stunned by what had just happened. We never would have imagined that the quiet day at the library would turn into an emergency situation. After everything calmed down, we returned inside the library, where we were met with looks of admiration and gratitude from the people around us. I had never been prouder to have Lisa as a friend. As we went back to our studies, I realized that fate often puts us in unexpected situations, but it also gives us the necessary tools to deal with them. And I was grateful to have Lisa by my side to face any twists and turns that life threw our way. Days passed smoothly after the incident at the library. Lisa and I continued our routine of studying and meeting up, enjoying each other's company and the friendship we had developed. However, something changed when I received a call from my coworker, Steve. He said he needed to talk to me urgently and suggested we meet at a nearby cafe. Concerned by the urgency in Steve's voice, I agreed to meet him right away. When I arrived at the cafe, he seemed tense and nervous. "Mike, I need to tell you something," Steve began, looking around as if afraid of being overheard. "What's wrong, Steve? You're scaring me," I replied, feeling a knot forming in my stomach. "I overheard a conversation at work about you and Lisa," he said hesitantly. My heart started to beat faster. What did he mean by that? What had happened? "What did you hear, Steve?" I asked, trying to remain calm. "Some people are saying that you two are having an affair," he revealed, looking down, unable to meet my gaze. Those words hit me like a punch in the gut. An affair with Lisa? That was absurd. Lisa and I were just friends, nothing more. "It's all a misunderstanding, Steve. Lisa and I are just friends, nothing more," I explained, trying to make him understand. Steve seemed hesitant, but finally nodded. "I hope that's true, Mike. I just wanted to warn you before things get worse at work," he said before getting up and leaving the cafe. I stood there, stunned and confused. How could this have happened? How could people think something so terrible about me and Lisa? I decided I needed to talk to Lisa immediately and clear up this situation. I couldn't let a false accusation destroy our friendship. Determined to clear up the misunderstanding with Lisa, I hurried to meet her at the cafe where we usually gathered. As soon as I saw her, sitting at one of the tables near the window, I felt a tightness in my chest. How could I explain this to her? "Lisa, we need to talk," I said, approaching with a serious expression on my face. She looked at me, concerned. "What's wrong, Mike? You seem tense." I took a deep breath before starting. "I was approached by a coworker today, Steve. He told me he heard rumors that we're having an affair." Lisa's eyes widened in surprise and shock. "What? That's absurd. We're just friends, Mike. You know that?" I quickly nodded. "I know, Lisa. I know. But people are talking, and I don't want it to jeopardize our friendship." Lisa looked visibly disturbed. "I can't believe people think that about us. We've always been so careful not to give room for misunderstandings." "I know, Lisa, and that's why I needed to tell you," I said, feeling a weight lifted off my shoulders by finally coming clean with her. After a tense moment of silence, Lisa took a deep breath and looked at me with determination. "Well, then we need to prove to these people that they're wrong. Let's show everyone that we're just friends." A smile of relief and gratitude spread across my face. "Yes, Lisa, let's do that. Our friendship is too important to let gossip destroy it." With a handshake and a mutual look of determination, we agreed to face any challenge together. The unexpected revelation of the rumors brought us even closer, strengthening our friendship and showing that even in the face of adversity, we could always rely on each other. Days passed, and Lisa and I continued to face together the consequences of the rumors circulating about us. Despite our efforts to show that we were just friends, we still felt the weight of suspicion and curious glances around us. One day, while we were at the cafe discussing strategies to deal with the situation, we were approached by a man who timidly approached our table. "Sorry to interrupt, but I overheard your conversation and, can I help in any way?" he asked, with a kind expression on his face. We were surprised by the offer of help, but we decided to accept any assistance that could dispel the rumors surrounding us. "Well, actually, we're trying to find a way to prove to people that we're just friends," I explained, hopeful that he might have some ideas. The man nodded, thoughtful for a moment, before smiling as if he had a brilliant idea. "I have a proposition for you," he said. "I'm a photographer and work for the local newspaper. How about if I take some pictures of you together, clearly showing that you're just friends? We can publish them in the newspaper, and that might help dispel the rumors." Lisa and I exchanged looks, surprised by the proposal, but at the same time hopeful that it could solve our problems. "That would be great. Thank you for your help," Lisa said with a genuine smile on her face. The man introduced himself as David and we agreed to meet with him later that day for the photo shoot. As we prepared for the photo session, we felt a mix of nervousness and hope. Perhaps finally, we were about to take a surprising turn in our situation and prove to everyone that the truth always prevails. We met with David at a local park, where he guided us through a series of poses and smiles for the photos. Despite the tension hanging in the air, David's reassuring presence helped us relax and enjoy ourselves during the session. As we posed for the photos, we talked and laughed as we always did. It was comforting to be there with Lisa, facing life's challenges together. After a few hours of the photo shoot, David informed us that the images would be processed and ready for publication in the local newspaper in a few days. As we eagerly awaited the publication of the photos, we continued to face curious glances and murmurs from others. However, now we had renewed hope that the photos would help dispel the rumors and restore our reputation. Finally, the day of publication arrived. With our hearts racing, we opened the newspaper and searched for the article about us. And there they were. The photos we took with David, clearly showing the genuine friendship we shared. As we flipped through the newspaper, smiles of relief spread across our faces. The photos were accompanied by an article that explained our story and made it clear that we were just friends. As we prepared for the photo session, we felt a mix of nervousness and hope. Perhaps finally, we were about to take a surprising turn in our situation and prove to everyone that the truth always prevails. We met with David at a local park, where he guided us through a series of poses and smiles for the photos. Despite the tension hanging in the air, David's reassuring presence helped us relax and enjoy ourselves during the session. As we posed for the photos, we talked and laughed as we always did. It was comforting to be there with Lisa, facing life's challenges together. After a few hours of the photo shoot, David informed us that the images would be processed and ready for publication in the local newspaper in a few days. As we eagerly awaited the publication of the photos, we continued to face curious glances and murmurs from others. However, now we had renewed hope that the photos would help dispel the rumors and restore our reputation. Finally, the day of publication arrived. With our hearts racing, we opened the newspaper and searched for the article about us. And there they were. The photos we took with David, clearly showing the genuine friendship we shared. As we flipped through the newspaper, smiles of relief spread across our faces. The photos were accompanied by an article that explained our story and made it clear that we were just friends. With David's support and the publication of the photos, we finally managed to dispel the rumors that had haunted us and restore our reputation in the community. As we celebrated our victory, we realized that the strength of our friendship had helped us overcome obstacles and prove that with confidence, determination, and mutual support, we can face any challenge that life throws at us. With the publication of the photos and the article in the local newspaper, we felt immense relief to see that the rumors about us had finally been dispelled. People around us seemed more receptive and confident about us, and we could finally breathe a sigh of relief. However, something even more surprising was about to happen. A few days after the publication of the photos, I received an unexpected call at work. It was an invitation to a meeting at the mansion on the hill, the same place where I had made the pizza delivery that changed my life. Curious and a little nervous, I accepted the invitation and headed to the mansion that afternoon. As soon as I arrived, I was greeted by the same elegant woman who had given me the generous tip weeks before. "Mike, I'm so glad you came," she said with a warm smile. "I want to personally thank you for your kindness and for helping my husband that day." I was surprised to realize that she was the wife of the man I had helped at the library. I could hardly believe that it was all connected. "It was nothing. I just did what anyone would do," I replied modestly. She nodded, but insisted on expressing her gratitude in a more tangible way. She presented me with an envelope containing a significant check, much more than I could have ever imagined. "This is for you, Mike. It's just a small token of our gratitude for your kindness," she said, her eyes shining with sincerity. I thanked her with a sincere smile and a handshake, still in shock at her generosity. As I left the mansion that afternoon, holding the check in my hands, I realized that once again, life had surprised me in ways I could never have predicted. And once again I learned that blessings often come when least expected, and from unexpected sources. After the meeting at the mansion, I could hardly believe the turn my life had taken. The woman's generosity and her gesture of gratitude had deeply touched me. I was determined to seize that opportunity to do something meaningful with that money. Meanwhile, the friendship between Lisa and me continued to grow stronger every day. We had been through so much together and shared so many meaningful moments that our bond had become unshakable. One day, while we were sitting in the cafe, chatting and laughing as we always did, I realized how grateful I was to have Lisa in my life. She was more than a friend. She was a confidant, a partner, and a constant source of support and inspiration. "Lisa, I just wanted to tell you how much you mean to me," I said, looking into her eyes sincerely. "You've been by my side in the best and worst times, and I'll never forget what you've done for me." Lisa smiled, touched by my words. "Mike, you mean a lot to me too," she replied. "Our friendship is one of the best things that ever happened to me, and I'll always be here for you, no matter what." At that moment, I realized the true power of understanding and friendship. No matter what life has in store for us, as long as we have people by our side who support us and understand us, we can overcome any challenge that comes our way. And with Lisa by my side, I knew I was ready to face whatever lay ahead. As the days passed and we approached the end of the semester at college, Lisa and I were excited about the future that awaited us. Our friendship had withstood tough tests and emerged stronger than ever, and we were ready to face new challenges together. With the money I received from the generous donation at the mansion, I decided to invest in my education. I enrolled in evening courses at college, seeking to enhance my skills and open up new career opportunities. Lisa, too, was eager for new horizons. She had excelled in her psychology studies and was considering enrolling in a graduate program. As we prepared for our next steps, we reflected on everything we had overcome together. From the rumors that shook our reputation to the unexpected twists of fate, we had faced each challenge head-on, supporting each other every step of the way. And so, with a sense of gratitude and optimism, we bid farewell to the present chapter of our lives and prepared to start anew. We knew that, whatever happened, we had each other to rely on, and that was all we needed to face whatever lay ahead. And thus our journey concludes, but our stories continue, propelled by the power of friendship, understanding, and gratitude. And who knows, what the future holds may yet surprise us once again.